Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to War in the East as we continue. So, the Red Army's back is almost broken. I feel that possibly one or two good operations will see the Red Army completely destroyed. I'm rather interested in the central build-up of forces here, so I'm just going to bring up the actual drawing tool, so here we go. The reason being that we have 1 core, 2 core, 3rd core, 5, yep, 6, a number of cores here. Now what I need to do is, I already know I can get these panzers in through here. So what we need to do then is use either these divisions here or possibly another division to force these forces out of the way and open a gap up. These are airfields or headquarters all around here, possibly airfields as well. And as such, they'll be knocked out of the way fairly easily. I assume these are airfields too, so it should be rather easy to do, to be honest. So let's take a look. Now, we have these forces over here, which is part of the 13th Corps. 13th Corps is in range to help out. But do I have the forces of the 13th Corps, part of the 2nd Army, hold this area here? The issue is there really isn't much here to hold on to. Okay. I need to cover ground, really. So let's do some reconnaissance here, see what we can identify. And then at least we know what we're dealing with, more or less, to a greater degree. Okay. So we have the build-up around Gorky, which we discussed previously. We do have a large build-up of forces over here, which is... this is very dangerous. This is actually the most formidable grouping of Red Army forces I've yet seen, well, at least for a long time. The Red Army has practically nothing in the Caucasus, at least they do have some troops that are unknown. I expected these troops to evacuate into the Caucasus, but they seem to have actually evacuated down here to Sevastopol. Which is rather interesting to say at the very least, that we have potentially over 100,000 troops in this area doing jack shit. So, interesting move there. Interesting move. Okay. Now, this corps ultimately needs to head down here to join the rest of the 17th Army, as it's really not doing any good over here. So we'll have them pull back and head down here. And again, I could have them move here. That would be a short movement, and therefore the better one. Yep, there we go. A few losses. And there we go. Okay. You're attached to this command, so we can have this division break up and join this one. There we go. So there's the 4th Corps. Join the 4th Corps. Terrific. At least I can take the forces from the 1st Panzer Army and have them reattached to the 17th Panzer Army, which should be far easier, and it lightens the load on the actual 1st Panzer Army's headquarters. Okay. I would like to secure some position across the river here. The reason being, it's far more expedient. But again, I could always pull back to the river over here, as we already do have some issues to deal with. This is truly an issue. I need to be able to get around this. Though I can see here that the forces present are extremely weak and therefore not too much of a threat, though they are here in numbers and I do need to repulse them to be able to open up a front in the Caucasus properly. So we'll focus on one thing at a time, so we'll go with the center here to begin with, just to make things simpler. Okay. Now, 4th Army, you do have a good amount of support at the moment. We do have embedded, you have the gun, howitzer, mixed flak, self-propelled, pioneer, road, construction. So really not too many guns. So we will embed some extra howitzers in there. Only a few extra howitzers, but they are heavy. A couple self-propelled. The Jagdpanzers and Stuck Battalions are saved for the time being. So let's have that unlocked. Yep, it is already good news. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use these forces over here and we're going to cover this flank. You are attached to this command. That works out fine. Yeah, that's that command. Okay. We're going to push up to the river here. And then from there we'll take things as we go. Right, so we have 80... That's rather irritating. Okay, just cover that. Just gonna embed yourself in Ryazan. Okay, break up these formations. Okay, there we go. Supplies are down here, so I'm actually moving closer to supply, which is decent. You are over capacity at the moment. You are under capacity, so I can change over these commands to this correspondent HQ over here without any issues. And in fact, it increases the efficiency. Okay, so we have you over here, which is technically still over as well. We need to be able to push our way through here, but the terrain is rather difficult. We have swamp and heavy forest, along with light forest. There is some clear terrain in the center between the actual forest, but that's not exactly going to be anything to move on. I would like to take the city of Mordon for an actual strategic point. I mean, well, it's a nice rail network. It does cover these networks here, and they do run through here, as you can see, like so. It's a nice network center. And then if I could get to Arzamas, could try to further cut off rail contact with Gorky. The issue is the other rail line is going to be extremely difficult for me to even cut, if I could even do something like that. So we'll have to just take our chances. Okay, we'll occupy this here. Right, move that there. Okay. I'm not entirely opposed to... Well, to be honest, we are going to be having something of a operational pause for the time being. The North is a very interesting proposition at the moment. Operation Trident's ultimate objective of cutting this army off has yet to be realised, and may not yet be realised if... Well, it may be realised in a limited degree, which anything is better than nothing, but it's not quite the colossal and critical blow to the Red Army that I was hoping for. The issue was the lack of fuel and just unable to move. I think I could have done it a lot better if I'd been able to cut off these forces that were around here. If they'd been cut off with that turn, I would have been able to get through there a lot faster and a lot easier. But things are as they are, so we'll go forward from there. We do have to be happy that we do have a surplus in vehicles for logistics, which is good. We do have a many number of turns before the onset of winter, so we're good to go for the time being. Right, so we return down here. That means I have these elements of the 1st Panther freed. So we have the 12th Corps and the 24th Corps. Okay. Now I think what I'll do is I'll just use this corps over here to start the bleed-in, bash through there. So if we take a look here, they don't have any entrenchments other than over here. Well, any entrenchment values other than there. Which is going to be a pain in the ass, to be honest. But if I can go around it, I'll do that instead. Okay, so we have the 167th Division. We do have this Rifle Corps, which is very difficult to move out of the way. I will not... I could potentially surround it, but that would be a lot of work just to surround something that's not really worthwhile. I could go for a wider encirclement and try to move towards Tambov, but I don't have the range of movement to go that far. And this force can go up to about there. That's the furthest they can go out. If I was able to come out to here, then potentially. But I may be able to do that if I could get through these airfields. But other than that, that doesn't really... there's not really any greater thing than that. Okay, so the Romanians are facing resistance over here. I like to have the Romanians double stacked as they are inclined to be routed. There we go. Okay. I'll form this into a proper division. Right. So I would like to cut off this rail here. It's not going to be too much of a issue, but it would mean that they have to take that rail or that rail or that rail. So it does increase the amount of time and the requirement for vehicles. So we'll hit it there. I should use 2 divisions. Yep, knew it. Good. Right, that's fine, that rail line has been cut. Unfortunately not that one, as this one doesn't really matter, but oh well. Okay. Secure this. We do have some infantry to try and open the gap a little bit wider. I do have the capability to push here, but the issue is we are facing a Rifle Division Rifle Corps, then a Rifle Corps here. The 46 is rather dug in. One of these forces are not, they're just... Oh no, they are dug in and they're across the river and they are in a town with light woods. That's pretty decent for them to actually be able to defend. So it's definitely going to be an exploitation. Okay. Right, we'll push to where we can then. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get through here with infantry. That has opened this up, which is quite good. Okay, so we'll push these aside over here. And I use them over there. Possibly. I think we'll use you to begin with. And we'll see where the cards lie. Good. Okay. They're gonna hold, yep. It does free up this exploitation. Okay, I don't have the capability to move on further. So what we'll do is we'll push you back. Okay, I could use you to help out there. And I could use these forces together to push that aside. But I think they would be better used for other tasks like moving here and helping out. You could move with a bit more movement, which is good. Okay. Let's reposition to help. Okay. Right. So the moment, movement-wise, still can't get through here. Need to open this up. So I need this out of the way. I mean, I would like to get this out of the way because that's going to be the most difficult problem in that position that it currently occupies. It will definitely get in the way. So I do have this division. Are they capable of moving? No, they'd have to attack with a hasty attack, which lowers my offensive capabilities. Okay. Lovely. Okay, so at least you could move through that if needed. I wouldn't like that, but we'll see. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, possibly a few divisions over here that could potentially reach around. I don't think they'd be able to reach properly, though. I mean, they could join in that attack, actually. So what I think I'll do then is use you to help out in this attack. Good, you can actually attack properly. So we'll have you change headquarters. Okay. So I could use 3 divisions, which is probably overkill. So we'll use these 2 divisions here. Good. So capture this location. Which is actually quite an important rail hub, actually. Obviously it doesn't matter for anything beyond the lines of the Red Army, but still. Okay. How many that would be? 2. Intercepted. And twice. Right, there we go. So we are massing on the flanks over here to be able to punch through, which is going to be required. I mean, I should be using air power now, so we'll have to do that. I will use air power against this formation here. Let's see, I can move up this force, I'll do that. Actually, that was quite a miscalculation. I've, like, reduced the amount of force I can have there. Damn. That was really quite a bad move. Okay, so let's use some air power. Only level bombers. Let's move the airfields into range with fighters. See, I'd like to use bombers, but I can't use these assets without fighter cover. They're just simply going to get slaughtered. So there's no reason to do that, and it would be suicidal to do that for the actual pilots involved. So we'll not do that. Right, you only have 11 movement, so I can move you there. You could potentially join in that. You definitely would be able to. Okay. So we'll use all we have available, so that would be 3 divisions to be able to bash through here, which would be more than likely possible, but I just want to make sure that we can get through. Then again, I'll use you. You have twice the chance to be able to get through there. Yeah, there we go. Ideally, I'd be able to push that aside. Okay, so I could push you, so we'll do that. Seems some forces routed. Okay, we could move deeper in there. Okay. There we go. So we do have some... Right, so we have a guards division. Not very powerful, however. So use these forces over here to knock that out of the way. Okay. Yeah, that's good. So we could technically achieve a full pocket here. That's good news. I would have to be very, very strong here. Okay. I'll move here then. Try and knock that out of the way a bit more. Right, not good. Actually no, it seems to be okay. Awesome. Right. Yep, you can reach it. They can all pretty much reach it, that's awesome. So we can have an envelopment of this center. Okay. We'll do it like this then. I mean, do I go and hit that division, try and knock it further back? I could try. I just don't want to. I just don't know which way it might go, so we'll see. Let's hit it, see where it goes. Oh, good. Very good. That's much better than I could have hoped for. Do we go for a tighter envelopment? Probably would be a good idea to reduce the actual logistical cost associated with moving these many supplies, well, this many supplies. I mean, I'm thinking possibly a secondary encirclement around here, but that might be just a little bit too much and not worth the risk. Right, 88% fuel, 97, 95, so 88. Yeah, this is looking good. Yeah, actually could achieve that. Which would be quite nice. I mean, it would be extra forces in the pocket. I mean, secondary encirclements is a very good idea. Let's see. I could try to amass enough firepower to bring this to retreat, but that would be very difficult. In terms of air power over here... Ah, actually I do have fighter bombers, awesome. Okay. Let's go for a full raid. Just anything and everything reduces the strength of that position. Right, nothing available. Let's see, what effect did that have? Okay. Right, so little disruption. Not a huge amount, but enough that should make a little bit of a difference. Right, it's trying to mass firepower. Issue is I'm attacking across the river, which is never going to work well. So we'll hold our horses for the moment. And I can always use these forces over here, which have like huge amount of mobility there, and they could even potentially surround these forces. So I have like 3, 6. Oh, right, it's part of this formation, isn't it? Okay. I want a tight encirclement, really. So should I go a bit further out? I probably should. Just to disrupt them and make it harder on them. But then again, it makes it harder on us too, so we'll see. Then again, a tighter encirclement is better for me. The issue is I don't have infantry elements to move into this area. I mean, I was quite overzealous with this, but I think it was worthwhile to be able to enable this. I mean, we have a potential lot of force encircled here, so we'll get this working first, and then we'll go for anything extra afterwards. I mean, I would like to knock that out the way so we could actually secure our flanks a little bit more. But one rifle corps is a problem, but it shouldn't be insurmountable. If it breaks, it breaks. If it doesn't, that's great. I'll do my best to try and make sure it doesn't break. Okay. Right, so if you were to move, you would move there anyway. And then down there. So we'll make you move here. Break you up, just see what we can do. Okay. Nice amount of fuel. Okay, so we could move a bit closer. Which I will do then. At least I have these hexes here captured, so that gives me a little bit more room. And I do need to reinforce this. So I may use a section of the Großdeutschland to reinforce that. Which, in fact, I think I will do. The reason being, I can use these troops to solidify my control. I can have them reinforce the panzers. So what I'll do is I could have... Well, we'll get the encirclement complete, and then we'll be able to have enough fuel to move them out afterwards. But if I'm thinking something like Panzer motorized, Panzer, Panzer motorized, Panzer, Panzer motorized, and then at least we have strong points in the actual system. So if we go with Panzer, Panzer here, maybe motorized. Yeah, but again, infantry, that sort of thing would be able to help make that work. It's just the issue that the infantry are going to find it far too difficult to be able to move through that gap. That's just one other thing to take into consideration, really. Okay. Yeah, see, they have a much harder time to move through. What I could do is I could assign them some Stugs and Pioneers just to increase their actual defensiveness. So I'll have them make the trip. That's good. Okay. 79 and 89. Okay. I do have these panzers over here to help out, well, these, bloody 8 tanks. So we have one R35, so we have, oh, Jesus. That's pathetic. So we just have a few light tanks. It needs some major refit. But it, has some defensiveness, so, you know. Okay. So I might have it join in just to add to the total number of men who can attack. Though its mobility is quite nice. Righto. I don't know, I think I should try to use these forces here to try and just push that. But we'll see. Okay. Bum 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 bum. Let's go for the full division here. They can go in reserve. Right, reserve, reserve. Good capturing a large amount of fuel. Ah, nice. And that would dislodge those air bases. Those are a number of fighters, actually. And again, just keep it tight. Then I could have a Panzer Division to work here. Actually, I could have that Panzer Division there. That would... I mean, what I'd probably be better off doing is like having Panzer Division, like a division here, then 2 brigades, division, 2 brigades. And then at least you have the strong point pointed inwards towards a pocket. But then you probably want the strong point pointed outside towards the reinforcements, as they're going to be the ones who have full supply and therefore are stronger. Indeed. But I like the idea of the pointed fashion. Okay. Right, we'll move this in then. I mean, I probably do want to really heavily reinforce this. So what I'll do then is I'll have a... And I could put further forces out here. So put a brigade there. I could put a brigade there, or there. But I'll keep 2 here because we want this to be stronger. Okay, and then I could go there. We'd have our link up. Which we will do then. Okay. So we'll have the headquarters here because then... well, actually they don't have any combat effectiveness, so... we'll go here. Okay, so we have 14 combat value. Now I could fill this in here, which I shall do. Okay. That's not good. Okay, so we have that envelopment over here then completed. I do still have this Panzer Division, which I am going to use to reinforce the center. So we'll do that. Well, in all honesty, it probably should go there, but that is a full division. Right, so reserve, reserve, reserve. Okay. So now we can use these forces over here to surround them. And this is it. If I can just completely lop off any possibility of support, that'd be great. Right, they can't move through there now, which is quite a silly move. So perhaps what I'll do is... we'll move out this brigade. Okay, so they can't move through there, but I guess armor... No, then again, they're not even that good, are they? Oh, well, move it up there. I'll just assign to that headquarters for now. Okay, so they shouldn't be able to mount any truly effective counteroffensive. As far as I can tell, in the area, there's pretty much nothing beyond that northern... well, that westward salient. So if I can cut off these forces here, and truly create the prerequisite conditions for a truly catastrophic problem for them. Okay. If I push that out there, I'll probably be able to do the same as well. I mean, this could potentially be acquired. I don't know if I have enough troops to pull it off properly. And I don't want to leave it up to chance. Considering these stakes here. I don't have that. Well, I do have enough fuel for something like that. But it would be very difficult to get that hell back out. I could just hit that division. I just don't have enough force in the area to do that. Right, now that we have that, we can hit that, just make it a little bit weaker. This buys us that little bit more room, which I can now fill out here. So I can move there, then move this element of the Großdeutschland to potentially here. But at least we increase our depth. Or we'll see. You may come in handy. Okay, have you moved there? Right. So you could go there. Or over there, we'll see. So there's something in the city. Is it really worth the risk? It is in some circumstances, as it also creates a secondary involvement, well, a secondary encirclement that ultimately makes this flank even stronger. Because we do have a lot of force down this flank, but this flank is ultimately the weaker one by far, considering the massive amounts of forces here. So if I could reduce the risk to this flank and therefore increase the actual success probability of the main envelopment, that'd work out well. I mean, that's a good envelopment. That's good, solid envelopment there. Just how to do it. Thinking about it, I don't think I have enough troops to pull it off. We know there's now forces in the city of Tanbov. So in fact, it could be a much wiser decision to just secure this, really. So I think we'll do that. I mean, that would be nice to pull off for glory, but honestly, I need to be smart about this. Okay. I mean, this is the issue here. And I could always cut the rail line over here. It would have an effect of blocking off reinforcements, at least making it harder for reinforcements to arrive, which is decent. And again, if I send more forces down here, that creates a larger zone of control that makes it harder for the forces in that area to be able to move through. I could alternatively hit that division there. I would have the support of these... Well, I could have the brigade join, or not. But I could use them to soften it up a little bit. Okay. So what I did there was a effort to cause some disruption. I've caused a tiny amount of disruption. So what I think I'll do then is I'll go deeper into the pocket here, and then if I could cut that off into its own little mini pockets that's in fact surrounded, then I make this substantially stronger. I mean, we'd have the river to protect us over here too. I think that's a wise move to make, and I think it is a good move to make. I'm gonna go catch us some further supply and fuel. Alright, you should be able to get through that. There we go. Our mountain pioneers. There we go. So I could move something there. Right. I could form like a secondary line in here. Okay, I'll just move it there. Oh, actually, Panthers can't move back, so I need to cover that. I could have them on reserve. I go capture the town. I reserve. Okay, so that's a vast... In fact, I think that is the entirety of 1st Panzer Army committed to this, which is honestly not a terrible waste. Considering the general amount of fuel used there, you can see that used a lot of fuel to be able to pull that off. So by really consolidating our force, I think that's a much wiser idea than going for like multiple objectives and not being able to achieve any. There's been multiple instances where I've been trying to go for a encirclement and then it's failed due to me being overconfident and overzealous. So something like that's going to work out. I mean, that's going to remove a hell of a lot of resistance there in the center. Okay. So I'll move here, cut that rail line. Not like it matters, but you know what I mean. Oh, we do have a gap here. Interesting. Alright, let's exploit that. That's rotating. There we go. No, not exactly what I had in mind. I'll just move up that then. Okay. So we have forces emerging over here. I do really think a new operation is needed. But I think we need to rest and recuperate. Aye. There's a lot to be done here. I mean, where did we launch the operation from? Was it around here somewhere? Can't remember exactly. You can see the distance from Moscow is increasing now. I mean, we do need to reach the Soviet's capital, which would be Kyivashev, or Kyivashev, Shiv, whatever. That was like the, well, backup capital, really, for the Soviet Union. So if we reach there, then that will be quite nice. Considering the massive amount of fuel supply resources there, you can see all the actual production. Quite extensive. It doesn't produce T-34s, but it produces a lot of other things, so we do need to get there. And that is indeed a long way from Moscow. Moscow being over there. We have some way to go, don't we? So I think we'll leave it here for this session, and then we'll pick it up sooner or later, and carry on. So ultimately, we have potentially, let's see, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so 7, 8 core, sorry there. Then how many divisions? 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, unless I've not already counted that one. Then over here, maybe 11, 12 more or something. I don't know. There's a lot of force in here, to be honest. So, yeah, I'm happy that we have this strong envelopment. This is probably the best envelopment I could have hoped for. The fact that we have multiple armoured forces in the area close by that have a decent amount of fuel at both sides of the envelopment, and that we have infantry assets rather close by along with air support. So that's pretty decent. To be honest, I could probably do one of these Luft flotillas or air flotillas down here, closer to this objective, so that we could actually reinforce it via air. I mean, this area of the theatre has been lacking in air support a hell of a lot. So yes, I'm going to leave it here for now, so thank you very much, and I hope you guys have had a great day, or night, whatever you're doing. Have a great weekend, or whatever the hell was left of it. And until next time, thank you for watching, and if you have felt that I've deserved it, then you could always choose to become one of my backers on Patreon, or make a small monetary donation on PayPal. Nothing is expected, nothing is expected of you. It's just something that you can do to help out. So until next time, goodbye for now.